This the new Let's Get It Sports Talk, broadcasting live on weekends, exclusively on Facebook and the Four Walls Foundation YouTube channel. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another wonderful Sunday. We are the new Let's Get It Sports Talk. I'm one of the hosts, Dots Bryce. We got my man, MB, Marcus Bullock, Coach Marcus Bullock, pardon me. And then right beside him is Coach Fred Petit, FB. We are missing CB today. Definitely our hearts and prayers are with you. And we already know what that is, you know what I mean? So let's get into it though, man. MB, what's good, baby? How you doing, man?
Oh, it's good, man. Not a whole lot going on. Into the spring sports season with my son playing lacrosse and my daughter's softball, and you know, it's not spring sport weather though. I can tell you that.
It's cold, right?
I was sitting outside at Seneca High School yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was freezing. I almost thought about. Well, I did think about. I just decided not to do it. Going to sit in the car and just saying, Malachi, like, good luck. That's how cold it was. But I stuck it out, and you know.
That's what's up.
You know, so yeah, but all's good. All's good.
I will say that, hearing that though, I do feel terrible, and I'm sorry, little baby Reagan. I'm sorry. Oh no, not little baby Reagan. My little Camzy. I'm sorry because I did sit in the car. So I don't want you to think it's a lack of love. It just was a little cold out on Wednesday. I think it was. And she had a softball game. I'm like, yo, I'm freezing out
Wednesday
here.
was cold.
Yo, I'm freezing out here. So, but you know how you could pull up by the softball field and it's good. Like, and you're like, wait a minute, nobody's parking here? Oh my gosh, I'm lucky. Pull out here. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
Yeah, there's a reason nobody's parking there.
Foul balls.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. But so it was interesting though, man. But lots of love, man. That's what's up, man. You know what I mean. It's not a lack of love though, Cammy. I promise you. Anyway, FB, what's good with you, man?
Nothing much. I mean, it's been it's quite a quiet time for me.
Okay.
I mean, at this point in the year, like for work-wise, I watch a lot of spring sports, so it was cold out there on Wednesday. I can relate to that. So, but now everything's good. Watched a lot of basketball this weekend, so looking forward to the 2 national championship games.
All right. And same here. We had some. It's been a good week. It started off a little rough, though. I'll admit. I don't know. It seemed like when you're trying to do the right thing, it seemed like it becomes F with Bryce all the time. I don't know. It's like when you try and do good things, and then it's like almost at the same time, it's simultaneously accessing for people to like mess with me. I don't know why it's like that. We had to go through some things early on in the week or whatever. Let me ask you a question. Just a quick question real quick before we even really get really cooking right now. When you guys are both head coaches, right? Now when you're head coaching, when you have a staff, do you pick your staff or is your staff picked for you?
I mean, I picked one guy was already there, but I chose to keep him.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, I picked the staff.
I picked mine as well.
Mine. Okay. So, and I'm assuming that you picked them because you guys share the same vision, same mentality, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about somebody like going rogue.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about
the
message they're delivering when you're not there. And,
right.
Yeah.
Have you been in a situation where you didn't pick your staff and then you had to worry about people going rogue? Or let's say when the staff wasn't all the way unified.
I've been in a situation where I had to talk to someone about their message. And
okay.
That's not what we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what was that conversation like? It was uncomfortable?
Yes and no. Because of the person who it was it was easier for me.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like because it was like, listen, either you're gonna do this or like,
oh yeah, we're gonna have a problem. Right.
You can just go.
Right.
But no, it wasn't. It was one of those like when I found out and saw what was going on, it was like, man, like, now I gotta have this conversation. Like you don't want to have that conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. How about you, Fred?
Fortunately, I have not had to have that conversation yet.
Congratulations.
So it's been...
Okay. It reminds me of like when Jason Kidd and Lawrence Frank, I don't know if you remember that. And,
Yep.
Jay Kidd was like, I gotta get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? He had to get rid of Frank or whatever. So I just think it's bad. Like when when you're joined together to do a job, but yet someone feels like their message is more than everybody else's message. And that's unfortunate.
Sure.
And it could really lead to hurt feelings. You know what I'm saying? But you have to address it though.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you don't address it, then it's like it goes chaos. So you got to have order, right? So, okay. So like I said, we've been going through some trials building the system.
I was going to say, is it sisterhood, not sisterhood?
No. It's sisterhooding. It's sisterhooding. But, what did... I was about to go back what your pop said a little bit. What did your pop say?
What?
That eventually what? The cream.
That's my.
Oh, that's yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cream eventually, cream, right.
Cream rise to the top.
So it's like, you're dealing with the cream now. So now it's like we gotta
Pause, man.
Yeah. That is a real pause. That really was. But that's what we're dealing with. So, but the sisterhood is alive and well. So we're happy about that. But anyway,
So this is rabbit hole. I know you probably do. Do you guys watch Drink Champs?
Yeah.
I do.
I just started watching it, so I was going back. That's one of the funniest things. And Paul just made me think of it.
Right.
Like, I don't know why I brought that. That's
Drink Champs is hilarious.
that's one of the funniest things
yeah.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, Nori's
crazy.
Nori's crazy.
Yeah, once they get into like the second hour,
So,
and everything
Nori's
kicks
gone.
in. Yeah, it's
Nori's gone. And not just off the drink now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doing all kind of
He's
things.
doing
Right.
I don't know how they even do it after the first hour.
Hilarious.
Right. But I mean, you know what? It's kind of like, and I can't even say that though, because I mean, we school teachers and whatever. But I'll just say this: from movies I saw, it seemed like that's kind of what goes down when y'all hanging out a little bit. Y'all just instead of just having the cameras, y'all just in there vibing anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
which is why it works. It's almost like you're seeing behind the scenes a little bit.
Behind the scenes,
Yeah, that's true.
So, but no, good. But listen, good stuff. So let's get right into it, though, Coach. I didn't watch the games. I'll be honest.
So yeah. So let's start with on the women's side. Fred, you watch the women's side of things?
I did. I watched. It's kind of disappointing. Both games were blowouts.
Both games were blowouts. UConn, who looked really good the weekend before. I was like, wow, I thought that was the best they could play. And they looked even better.
Wow.
Against UCLA.
Yeah.
AZ Fudd had kind of struggled recently in the tournament. And then, she got it going. So if her and Paige have it going at the same time, they're very tough to beat. And they got the girl inside. I think she's a freshman. Last name Strong.
Yeah, I think she is too.
She's been playing really well. It's definitely tough to. I mean, they're playing South Carolina today. It's tough to see them.
Wow.
It's tough to root against South Carolina because they've been so dominant. But I mean, UConn did go in and beat them pretty handily early in the season. So I wouldn't be surprised with either result happening today.
Now this is the championship.
This is the championship.
Wow.
It's Paige Becker's last collegiate
so it is
game.
Becker's. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what time is this on?
3:00.
3:00. Okay. All right.
Which is awful.
Terrible.
The timing.
Yeah, it's
play it at night.
Play it at night.
Right. Instead of everybody.
Like 3:00. Like I can't watch it at 3:00.
Right.
Like I got stuff to do.
Yeah. And you know what? Why do you think that is though? Because it's not really that. I mean, it should be popular though. Like I think
if it was a light game, I think you would get very high ratings. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because it's on a Sunday. I don't know. It's always, even last year, I remember talking about the same thing. Like
it was 3:00 last year.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be a good game. I think it could go either way. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't have a good read on it. Like, because South Carolina is they're not as powerful as they've been in the past, but then yet here we are again when they're in the championship game, after blowing out a team that was, I think, the number 1 overall seed. Maybe they weren't. I think UCLA was. Yeah. So, beating another good team and, so, we'll see.
How many chips does Gino have?
11.
11 chips, right? Because he won for some years in a row, right?
He won 4 years straight.
Right. Without losing a game.
Breonna Stewart's whole thing. She won 4, right?
Yeah.
Without losing a game. I
think they lost a game in that 4 years. But they've had undefeated seasons.
Undefeated seasons, right?
I mean, they had like a 111 game win streak.
Yeah, right. It was crazy. So now Dawn Staley, how many does she have? Just one? or
she's got to have 2 or 3.
Dawn has a couple at this point.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so Gino has 11.
And Dawn
has...
I think Dawn's the only one that's beaten Gino in the championship.
Oh, really? Okay. And it's all with South Carolina.
Dawn has 3. Wow.
3, yeah.
Okay, all with South Carolina. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, you know what? I mean, who would you guys root for? I think I'm going to go with Dawn Staley just because, you know what? I don't know. I feel like I like the underdog. And I think no matter what, I think South Carolina's the underdog. Because of the mystique, though.
They're the defending champs, though. Like, UConn hasn't won.
UConn's a 2 seed. They're not even number 1 seed. I don't know.
Is it convincingly that they have the advantage or they have the disadvantage? I think that they have the disadvantage. I think the more popular pick, and if I had to bet on the bookies, they're probably going with Connecticut.
I mean, I would say this is rare that UConn's an underdog,
That's
but I think
wow. Okay.
I think they are.
So UConn's the underdog because of what the defending champs, South Carolina.
Well, South Carolina's been South Carolina for a while now, and it's like
South Carolina is kind of taking the space.
UConn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like, they've been UConn.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a good game. I mean, I don't know. I think they both have players that I enjoy watching.
Right.
You know, so I think hopefully it's just a good game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely would tune in. I don't know. I wanted to tune into the other ones last night, but you guys eat Caribbean food? This is rabbit hole. This is rabbit hole Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you that right now. I'm saying, came back late from New York last night. I'm tired.
I have.
You have? Okay. How about you, Fred?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I've maybe long time ago, but I've had some. We was in New York celebrating. By the way, happy birthday to my father. You know what I'm saying?
Your dad's birthday today? My dad's birthday today.
Wow,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Happy birthday.
Wow. Now, how old is your pops?
My dad is 62.
Wow. Okay, pops 71. Wow, that's what's up. Yeah, today's his birthday, so we was in New York last night. Kind of celebrating a little bit and had a little Caribbean spot. But let me tell you, and I can't even curse too much, but that MFing rum punch. Oh my goodness!
He said Caribbean.
I know. But I switched to the rum punch though, right? Because the rum punch, I've never really had rum punch because I don't really like, to me, I don't like sweet stuff. But it wasn't sweet. Oh my goodness, delicious! It was so delicious. I brought some back home. Like I was like, listen, let me get a half gallon. Like it was that delicious. But anyway, because of that, there was no game watching.
Yeah. So the rum punched you.
Punched the living mess out of me.
Okay.
For a little bit. For a little bit. But anyway, so we're looking at, you guys are going for what, Connecticut?
I kind of want to see Connecticut win just because, I think for Paige Beckers it would be good for her to end her career. She's had a bunch of injuries. AZ Fudd's had a bunch of injuries. So it would be nice to see their story end with, them winning national championship.
Okay. How about you, Coach?
I don't know. I think this is for me when the game starts and since I won't be watching it, checking the score on my phone, I'll know how I feel. I don't know. I like that. What Fred just said, I agree with, but also on the South Carolina side, I love watching great teams be great.
Yep.
Right.
I enjoy that. So seeing South Carolina dominate, I'd be okay with that. I don't, Yeah. And I like how South Carolina this year, they have, like I said, they have really, really good players, but they don't have a superstar like an Asia Wilson like they've had in the past. It's just they're just a good team.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with. Actually, you know what? I probably will go with South Carolina, but I just want to watch a good game. I think that's where I'm at now because very little basketball do I watch now because of our terrible Sixers. I think we're on like a 11-game losing streak or whatever. So I barely watch any basketball. But and which is probably why I wasn't really the Final Four is coming on. I'll catch up to it. I mean, I'll get back by halftime or whatever. But even I got back by halftime, I was like, And then I saw the score of the Duke and Houston game, and I think Duke was up by 9 or 11 with 3 minutes left. I was like, all right, well, Duke got it or whatever. Yeah. And then something changed.
And then they didn't.
And I don't know what happened, so I don't know if you guys could talk about it, because I know I woke up this morning, and it was 70-67. I said, oh, my goodness.
Houston won 70-67.
Wow.
Houston started being Houston. They went full court press, and Duke couldn't get the ball in bounds, couldn't get the ball over half court. Just didn't really have an answer for that.
Just turnover after turnover.
And then by the time they're getting over half court, now they don't have a lot of time on the shot clock. They're it was one of those things where everybody always talks about Houston's defense, and I don't really watch Houston. Like, that's not a team I watch throughout the season. They're not on TV a ton or anything like that. So I was like, whatever. You hear about these things and you're like, whatever. But that, like, for those 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I saw what everybody was talking about.
Wow.
Like, they couldn't get the ball. Like, some of the best players supposedly in the country, in Cooper Flagg, who just won all these awards, they can't even get the ball in bounds. And then I felt like I was,
Now, was that more
baseline hoops against Bayshore? What was it?
Bayshore Bulldogs.
Bayshore Bulldogs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I want to fight that guy.
Now, was it more to what Houston was doing as far as the defense, or was it a lack of execution?
It was just, to me, it was just Houston's physicality down the stretch. They just made everything tough. Every pass was tough. Every setting screens, they were tough on the screens. They were tough on every dribble you took.
Okay.
It was just, they played with intensity that Duke couldn't match for like the last, it was really like the last like 7 minutes of the game because Duke really struggled to score down the stretch. It was a weird spot. It's weird when you're up late because you're trying to balance good possessions versus good shots, and it's tough. Yeah. And you saw that on display last night.
Wow. Now, did Schreier, is it Schreier or Shire? Shire, he didn't call no timeouts, something like that? Or he just kind of...
No, he did.
He did.
I don't think...
It just didn't make a difference.
It's one of those things that everybody's like, he got out coached, and I guess, sure. But... I don't know what else.
At that time,
what are you gonna like? To me, it was really just a matter of it's. Houston got confident in what they were able to do,
right?
And when you let a team be confident, like, so, their thing is their defense. But now they come down, and I think they hit like back-to-back threes or something. They cut the lead to like 6 or 4, and then now they're like, okay, we can do. Now you're battling. It's a different animal.
Right.
So now they have all
feeling good now.
They have all the confidence in the world, and now everybody's defense is just a little bit better. And now on offense, when you have the ball as Duke, you could see their guys were just trying not to turn it over. It became not about scoring anymore. It became about just don't turn it over, and you're not going to win games like that. Wow. Especially at that level. So,
what does that mean for Duke, though? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, when's the last time they won? They won. It's been a minute for them.
09?
10. Okay. I thought they won in 10.
Maybe 10. Okay.
I don't know.
About 15 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Is this disappointing, or is this more about what Duke disappointment, or more about just the resiliency and the overcoming of Houston?
I can never say when you get to the Final Four of your season was a disappointment, especially with all the new pieces that they had. I think they won the ACC regular season title.
I'm sure, yeah.
And I think they won their conference tournament. You get to the Final Four, they're playing the team who could eventually be the national champion. So to lose to them because you had a bad 5-minute stretch, I wouldn't say it's a disappointing season.
Gotcha.
I thought they played really well. I mean, for a lot of stretches, they played really well. So it's hard. You don't want to look at a team and let 5 minutes determine how you look at their entire season because they played great the entire year. They had the best freshman in the country who played like the best player in the country. Right. So it's hard to say it's a disappointment. John Shire's in year 3, and he's already at a point where you're not wondering if he's the guy anymore.
He's the guy.
Yeah.
I got you.
Right.
Okay.
So, I think the future is looking bright for Duke. I think they can still get recruits in.
Yeah.
And, it's big for them.
So now is Cooper Flagg the number 1 pick? Is he coming out or he's not coming out?
It's coming out.
For sure.
Yeah.
And is he the number 1 pick?
Are you thinking about this?
Yeah, I am thinking about it. He's the number 1 pick. I think he has some things to work on, but he's the number 1 pick.
Now he's what, 6'9"?
6'9", yeah.
6'9", can handle the rock, can shoot.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have many weaknesses in his game. Is that correct? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What do you think, Mark?
You like him?
I don't even think it's close.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know who's the number 2 pick.
Well, no, I'm just thinking of him. I'm not thinking of him compared to the field. I'm thinking now that we're talking about him as the number 1 pick, kind of how he projects going forward.
Oh yeah, I mean definitely. As an
That's what I'm
NBA
saying.
player, does he have things to work on? Of course.
That's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
But I think he's more NBA ready than a lot of these guys we've seen be the number 1 pick.
And then you would be comfortable.
Minus Wemby.
You would be comfortable tweeting that too. He's better than half of the guys in the NBA.
I would say he's better.
He would have more confidence tweeting that than the other guy.
than what somebody else tweeted. Absolutely.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Does he make an immediate impact?
depends on where he goes.
Where he goes.
Like if he ends up in a bad situation, then he's gonna not struggle, but he's not gonna be as, like I think the best. Like I think if he were to go to a good team, I think he would have a big impact.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's a guy right now where you can say, all right, go score 20 a game in the NBA. I don't think he's that.
He'd be like a nice little role player though.
But I think he could be an impact role player where he can really affect the game on a good team. Now that's the problem. When you're the number 1 pick, you don't get to go to a good team.
Right.
But
But what could you see him at? I mean, because Philly's in the mix too. The Sixers are in the mix a little bit, right? A little bit.
See, that's a situation where it would be great for him.
I agree.
Yeah.
It'd be great for him there.
Yeah.
Right. Because he feels a need too.
Fills a need.
And he can do multiple things. He passes really well. He was able to knock down some shots from the perimeter.
Right. Yeah.
He has a really high motor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if he's a guy that you're expecting to score 22 to 25 from day one, he's not going to do it.
Like if he ends up in Washington or something like that,
he just gets in the wash.
Now, I don't mind seeing him in San Antonio though.
Agreed.
Another good spot for him.
Another good spot for him, right? Yeah. So, I mean, with him, Fox, and Wemby too. Yeah. So, I don't know. Is there anybody else that's high on that college billboard or that's coming out? Anybody that's
Dylan Harper from Rutgers.
Oh yeah. So yeah, right.
The two
Ace
kids
Bailey
from Rutgers.
Okay. Now Dylan's what? Probably number 2.
I think that kid Ace might be number 2.
Which I don't understand.
Not a fan?
Not a fan of Ace Bailey.
Is he a big man or?
It's like 6'9".
Okay.
6'8".
It's like small forward.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know. I just.
But he doesn't get to it like that. Like you want him to.
He's super athletic.
Okay. Okay.
The end. You know what I mean? Like, and I think at some point you gotta have skill. Like, we see these guys who are super athletic all the time, and it's just.
That's what keeps them there, though. See, it's the athleticism. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but now when you get to the NBA and everybody's super athletic,
right. Then it's a different situation. All right,
he didn't dominate at Rutgers.
Did Harper or did
Harper dominate?
He dominated. Okay, initially or the whole
Harper didn't dominate at Rutgers.
The whole year.
No. I'm saying
the whole year.
Them, I wish we saw more from them at Rutgers.
Oh, for sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I think they did a poor job of putting players around them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think Ace Bailey was what he was supposed to be.
What he's supposed to be. I got you. Okay. Is anybody else that's ringing bells?
I like the kid from Baylor, the Edgecombe kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super athletic.
What about that Florida guard?
The Florida guard is tough.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Yeah. I might go with them for the
Clayton. That's
Walter Junior.
So Florida beat Auburn in the first game. Good game. Was it Walter Clayton?
Yep.
Junior.
I mean, he's been sensational the whole tournament. I think he had 32 yesterday. And you don't really see that in college. Guys getting 30s
and the way he's getting 30. Though.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's tough. I like him a lot.
So now he's up there on the draft board too. He's got to be high, right?
Not really. It's not a lot of 6'1", 22-year-olds that people are looking to draft that high.
That's true.
It's a shame, but it's just kind of just the fact.
That's true. Well, I mean, listen, it's going to be interesting. What's our predictions for Monday? Now, Monday's game is what? Is that 9 o'clock game?
Probably
8:49
Right.
off.
Now, do we like that?
No.
I don't like it either, right? And it's late as hell, right? You know what I'm saying? But
Like 7:30, like I get it's got to be a little bit later. 7:30 would be great.
yeah. So, but who do we got? Who are we looking at?
I got Florida beating Houston.
I got Florida too.
It's tough, man. Houston's defense though is tough. I'm going to go with Florida, but I wouldn't be surprised if Houston won that
Houston
game.
won. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I think it'll be a good game. No blowouts though.
No blowouts.
Yeah,
I don't think Houston can get blown out.
Yeah. I think it'll come down to the end. I think. But Florida.
And Florida has too many weapons to get blown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida won't get blown out.
Florida won't get blown
I think
out.
if anything, it would be Florida blowing Houston out.
Houston
But I
out.
don't think they can do that with their defense.
Right.
And I don't know. As an offensive-minded coach, I hate when defense wins.
Right.
It makes me rethink everything. Makes me rethink it all.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. I was kind of having some nostalgia. What is some? I mean, you guys have watched the tournament since you were little kids, right? It's the same as I, right?
Yeah.
What championship game really like stuck with you? Maybe let's go two. Let's go like the thrill of they won, and then maybe like damn they lost.
For me, it was like, damn, they lost. Was when Memphis lost to Kansas
Well, that's a good
in
one.
2008.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Because I really liked that Memphis team with Chris Douglas Roberts and Derrick Rose and
Antonio
Anderson. Who was the big Dorsey?
Joey Dorsey?
His last name was Dorsey. I forget his first name.
Okay.
But to see them lose,
and they lost to Kansas. Who was
They lost to
it?
Kansas.
Not Heinrich. That wasn't Heinrich.
it was Mario Chalmers.
Oh, Chalmers in
It
there.
was. Had a couple other guys on that team.
Okay.
But like Derrick Rose missed free throws down the stretch.
Right.
They had the 3 to take it to overtime.
Yeah, I like that team too.
I really like that team.
Right.
2008? Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's the damn.
That's the damn.
Now, what's
yeah.
the like here?
I was a big Carolina fan
Okay.
back that time. So I think they got blown out by Kansas that year, the year before, and then they won it in 2009. I like that team too. That was the Ty Lawson, Wayne Ellington,
Oh, okay.
Hansbrough.
Gotcha.
That was that team.
Oh, Tyler. What was it? What, Psycho T? Is that Psycho T? Tyler Hansborough?
Tyler Hansborough.
Yeah,
Tyler
Psycho
Hansborough, Psycho
T.
T, yeah.
All right. Now, how about you, FB?
That's a good question. So the games I remember like being into, this will be one for you.
Okay.
John Wallace.
Yeah, see, that's the 96.
Was Lawrence Moten on that team?
Yeah.
He had the
I think so.
I think it was John. Like I remember, I don't even remember who they played. I don't know who won. I just remember being in my living room by myself.
Yeah.
This is like my first memory of watching like a championship. Watching John Wallace. And I think it was Lawrence Moten. If it wasn't Lawrence Moten, there was another dude that had like high socks.
Yeah.
I forget who he was.
Yeah.
I remember that game. I don't remember who won.
Oh, they won. Syracuse lost, man.
Who they played? You remember?
No, I just know it was 96, man, because I was in the dorm room.
Then I go back to the Khalid El-Amin.
It's Arizona, right? No, it was Connecticut.
Yeah, it was UConn.
Yeah, my bad.
And then the Arizona team with
Not Miles Simon.
Jason Gardner.
Oh, Jason Gardner. Okay.
And the only reason I remember that, he was the first one I ever saw with the jersey and then the cut shirt under the jersey.
Okay.
So these are the only things. These are my remember. I don't have like a that one hurt. Like I don't have one of those moments because the team I want, like my team growing up was always Temple, so we never got there. So
Right. I used to like that Temple team when they had Howie Evans though. Howie Evans, Mark Macon. I think
about that.
Huh?
Because you talking about like seeing the guy with the cutoff shirt. Yeah. I think it was like, who was I watching? Like I think TJ Ford. And that was around the time I really got into basketball. I forget who they played.
That was Texas, right? TJ Ford?
Texas, TJ Ford. But I just remember like, being like, all right, that's what I want to do. I want to play basketball.
Right, okay. All right. So I can tell you that probably the most heartbreaking loss was when Derek Coleman and Sherman and them lost to, I think they lost to Glenn Wright. No, did they lose to Michigan? Then they lost to Michigan. I think that was 89. If I'm not mistaken. I know it's a little, I know. It was 89.
Why are you laughing?
Because I was born in 89.
It's like when Kevin Hart was talking to
damn. That's why when he was like, 96, I was in the dorm room. I was like,
yeah, I was. Yeah. Now my the one I'm most excited about was when Carmelo and Jerry McNamara
and Hakeem Warwick,
and all them, and Billy Edelin. And you know what I mean, and those cats.
Queth Dwayne.
Yep. Yeah. I forgot about that. And who was the other one? Now he was kind of tough.
Then Josh Pace.
Josh Pace. No, I think you might be. Remember Todd Bogans? He might have been on that 96 team.
I'm looking up their roster.
Yeah, he might have been on that. Todd Bogans. But yeah, that 03 Syracuse team when Carmelo was just getting busy, man. That was just a great game.
Todd Bergen, you're right. John Wallace.
Or Bergen.
Otis Hill. Todd Bergen.
Right.
Jason Sapola. Lazarus Sims,
right, okay. They were tough, man.
Yeah.
They were
Plus,
tough.
you like St. John's.
Oh, McNabb was on that team.
St. John's is out of the two teams from New York I liked was St. John's and Syracuse, but St. John's was number one.
I'll give them Syracuse because Syracuse they were always in the Garden.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
And then that Big East battle.
I'm just asking if it's just every team in the state.
Speaking of that, I watched the podcast, the Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart podcast. They had A Boogie on from the Bronx.
Okay.
And they were asking him what team he's a fan of. Mm-hmm. You know what his answer was?
All New York teams.
I'm a New York fan.
Thank you. Come on. I wouldn't play you guys, man. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't mean he's right either.
I didn't know you're getting validation from A Boogie.
No. No, but you know what? I got to find. I was having a conversation with somebody about why New Jersey fans don't root for their teams when they were here. You know what I'm saying? I forget what the conversation is, but I will remember that and bring it back up. But I will say this, though. I was definitely more St. John's than Syracuse, but St. John's just never really got there. You know what I'm saying? And I was a big Mark Jackson fan. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's transition, man. NBA. It's coming down to the stretch. What is it, 10 games left?
Yeah, if that.
Are you excited for the playoffs?
Nah,
right?
Nah.
Sixers are kind of taking it from us, you know?
They robbed us, man. Yeah. And they robbed me. You know what I'm saying? And they robbed me, man. They did. They robbed me. Like, she don't even, MT, you know you're my peoples, but she don't even call no more because she already know, like, Bryce is going to be like, are you kidding me? They
but
like
MT, you could get him. He has the Sixers slides on with the hat. It's there. Come on. You can get him. You can get him, MT.
Yo, so now I heard you say offline, you said you looked up some floor seats.
So it was floor seats.
What are they going for?
It was a Game Time app. So it was maybe 10 minutes before the game.
Uh-huh.
And they were $78.
See, I would go.
For Ian Edwards, I would have went. I'm mad they're so bad I stopped paying attention.
I would, yeah.
Because I miss, like, the Warriors were in town. Yeah. The Timberwolves, like, there's games that I'm missing just because I don't pay attention to them at all.
At all. Not even a little bit, yo. So wait a minute.
Like, I didn't even know the game was on until I went on Twitter and saw his dunk from last night. Like, that's how checked out I
am. Wow. Yeah, and Maxi's shut down now.
Maxi's done.
Which you already knew that was going to happen.
To me, he's been shut down for us.
They had to just play it along, so it seemed like they were still trying.
They were trying to get it, right. Yeah, that's what I thought, too. Now, Grimes, I'm hearing that they might sign him. What do you think?
I'd be shocked, only because I think he has a chance to
get a payday. I
don't know if they're going to be able to afford him.
Yeah. So that was the last night's game. That was $78 to sit on the floor.
I don't know if it was it was one of the last 2 or so games.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I probably will go to a game because I do want that experience of just sitting on the floor, just watching. You know what I'm saying? But it's a travesty. I think that they should definitely make a public look. They should make a public apology, right? But then they'll probably say, well, we had the injuries. And they have had an unprecedented amount of injuries.
Has a team ever made a public apology for being trash?
No. I mean, well, this is back in like the 80s, the Sixers did apologize to the fans. That's why they came up with the whole "we owe you one." Like, Like, because there was too many times they was losing. It's like, come on, you spending your money, you going in. Philly's a hard town, though, man. It's a hard town, and I'm actually, shocked that Embiid is not really getting as much flack as he was. Like, what I'm saying? He had the arthroscopic surgery. We're still waiting for the results of that.
Did he have it yet, or they said they scheduled it?
I might give him a point. He made a schedule.
I don't think, which is,
they want to schedule it or something like that.
So I heard somebody talking about that, and it was like, is that the answer? Like, is that? And the thing is, no, but that is supposed to keep his knee from swelling, which has always been the issue because he'll play and then his knee swells up, so he can't play again.
Right.
So hopefully even that helps a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I think that the window for them to even try to be relevant is probably closing. As much as I hate to say that.
Yeah, and I think that's why he's not getting the flack that you're saying he should get. I mean, they're so irrelevant right now.
Big time, They suck.
Not just in the landscape of like the NBA, like they're irrelevant there, but even you just don't even hear about them anymore around. Like nobody talks about them like your day to day.
No.
I don't even see Sixer stuff, kids wearing Sixer stuff in school anymore. It's
sad. It feels, you know what it feels like? It feels like Trust the Process 2.0.
Oh, it's coming, yeah.
That's what it feels like, though. I feel like that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because now, Embiid is what? Embiid's what, 30? He'll be 31. George is 34, about to be 35.
George's older than 35.
Nah, I think he's 34 now. I think he's about to be 35.
Paul George's only that old?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't be older than that.
Yeah. Now I was listening to his podcast is coming back. I'm hearing.
Oh, good. We missed it.
Yeah.
I thought he said he wasn't doing one until he won.
That's what he said. But he said
So what?
He said he wasn't doing one until he won a championship.
Well, he said he wasn't doing it because he needed to focus on.
Oh, it was just this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then he said that his podcast is therapy for him. You know what I'm saying?
It's also the revenue. He's also making a little bit of money off of it.
So what do you think? Do you think that he's still dedicated
to basketball?
Yeah. Can you have? I mean, because Draymond then, right? Draymond could do it, right? Draymond.
I don't think doing a podcast distracts you from your season. I think the problem is when you're like pinky hurts and you're not playing and you're doing a podcast, that's when people have a problem with it. Like Jalen Brunson's hurt right now. He's doing a podcast. Nobody cares.
Right.
Because he's hurt.
He's hurt. Right. He's really hurt.
Like, we know he's hurt. We know if he could be out there, he'd be out there. Like,
yeah.
When Draymond gets thrown out of a game and he's doing a podcast, nobody cares. Like, but when you're on your podcast and when he's on his podcast, I don't know if you guys have listened to it at all.
He's talking. Yeah, go ahead.
And he talks like he's
right.
He's like, oh man, when I get back, we're gonna be like, you're not doing anything.
You're not doing nothing, right?
So I think that's the problem. Like he's not realistic. But I think that's who he is as a person.
Yeah. Do you regret getting him? Or you're not sure yet? You need to see more.
No, I mean the regret. I mean, obviously this was the risk, but I still go back to what was going to be the plan if you didn't get him? So it's almost like right now, looking back on it, I just wish we didn't get anybody. Of course, you'd have that money to spend,
right?
But that's not realistic. Like you weren't going to do that.
I wish I wish we could. Wait. First of all, we drafted Mikal Bridges, right?
Yeah.
I wish we had kept him.
Of course.
Yeah. I think that's where
we traded him for a guy who's not even in the NBA anymore.
And who was that again? Is that Mark? No, not Mark.
What was his name?
Oh, I know you're talking about was Zaire Smith, was it?
Something like that.
Yeah, he's not even in the game though right yet. So I mean, so the Sixers are irrelevant.
Here's a question for you.
Let's go.
Should we have signed James Harden?
Biggest moment of this podcast right here.
You mean re-sign him, right?
Re-sign him when he wanted his money. When he took the 1 year deal or whatever he did, and then we were supposed to re-sign him, and Daryl Morey lied to him and all this stuff. Should we have, looking back on it, knowing what we know now, would that have been a better option?
No.
So you'd rather be, just for clarification, you'd rather be where we are right now, knowing what you know, than the unknown of what you had if you still had kept Harden.
Well, would the results have been different? That's all, and that's what I'm thinking about, right? So right now, my heart's broke. Now, we can decide how it wants to break, but it's broke. It's broke now, the way it is. And Harden, he broke my heart too. When he didn't show up in the playoffs, we were left brokenhearted leaving.
At least you were in the playoffs.
So, is that the bar? Just get there?
No, but it's better than
being completely irrelevant.
Better than being like, oh, Sixers play today.
So okay, so here you're right. Okay, I'll give you that. But let me ask you, which one is worse? To be in the playoffs knowing that you have no chance to win the championship, or not making the playoffs and having a chance to retool and maybe get a draft pick or whatever.
For sure, yeah. Like you want to have, like, if we're not going to win the whole, if you're going to get guaranteed we're not going to win, then let's just be bad. That's what you say. Yeah. But like, this season has been miserable.
It has. But I think it's because of the injuries, though, right? So I mean, we could talk about the bad moves. That's why I said that. Does the injuries play a part into what's going on?
But I think if you have James Harden. So if you have James Harden, that means Maxi's probably playing right now still.
Okay, and they can get some victories.
Right, they can get some wins.
Yeah,
and then now you probably don't trade. You probably Oubre's probably playing. You probably have more pieces out there. You're still trying to win games.
Right.
I don't know. It's just the process sucked. It was awful.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. Like I said, I'm a Warriors fan until we figure this out.
So that's who you're going with from now.
That's who I'm. I don't know. I don't think they're going to win it, but that's who I'm a fan of.
You really don't think so?
No.
What do you think? You don't think so?
I don't think they have enough.
Yeah.
You don't think they have enough to come out? Who's coming out the West then? OKC.
I just hope it's not the Lakers.
See, I think it's the Lakers. I think it might be between the Lakers and.
I'm praying it's not the Lakers.
I hope it's not the Lakers.
I had to sit through an Eagles Super Bowl. If I got to sit through LeBron going to the finals again, I can't do it. Especially with the way he's been talking. Like, I went back and watched some of that Pat McAfee interview. Like, okay, so I just can't do it.
So talk to me about that, because I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
His and it's well deserved or whatever, he earned it, but his arrogance and the way he talks about things, it's just like he never takes any accountability for anything he did wrong. And it's never that it's always, well, these guys didn't do this and I was able to carry this group here. And it's just, I just can't, it's just for the last since 2010, it's always been, does LeBron James have enough help to win?
Right.
And then when he does, LeBron's the greatest, and we've seen other guys go and get bashed. Chris Bosh, Kevin Love, all these guys who were very, very good players in their own right, have to take a back seat and then be called trash for the role they've had to play.
That's a good point.
So I'm just never been really a big fan of Bron, and especially as he gets later in his career with how he handles things, how he handled the Stephen A. thing, things he said about guys in the media. It's just kind of just like I'm just over it.
Has there been a debate in y'all circles about the LeBron James and Stephen A?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the consensus from your different circles? And you're kind of in the same circle too. So what's the consensus though? Of like what was right, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever.
I don't think I've heard anyone say that the way LeBron handled it was right. I don't think I've heard anybody say it.
Same with you?
It's been that both sides were handled this corny and have continued to handle it in the wrong way going forward.
So not more than one than the other?
Nah.
Okay.
I think once Stephen A. said, "Oh, if he'd have put his hand, if he'd have touched me, I'd have swung on him," then everybody's looking like, "Come on."
Right. But he probably would have, though. Maybe. You think he would have?
Those guys are multi-millionaires.
He would have.
When are we seeing them fight?
He would have had to do something though, because if LeBron would have gripped him up or something,
he had to do. He had.
Because he would. But I'm saying, there's in no world is LeBron doing that.
No. Right. So you think LeBron was strategic when he did that?
Yes.
You believe so?
I think LeBron had. I think LeBron's strategic in everything he does. I think he had this mapped out as soon as he knew Stephen A. Smith was going to be at the game.
So you know what? See, and that's what I'm saying there. Yeah, and pray for my circle. That's all I'll say. Pray for my circle, because my circle is like, yo, man, like, well, they can't stand Stephen A. All right, so that's number one. But then also number
New York. He's a New Yorker.
I mean, I like him. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. He's from Jamaica, Queens. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he's, you know what I'm saying? They just feel like, you know what I'm saying? They feel like, you know, he's kind of like, he shouldn't have to do all that. I'll just say that. You know what I'm saying? He's a little extra. But they feel like LeBron had a right to step to him because he stepped to him as a father. And I'm like, I don't know if I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the whole argument, and I seen Ryan Clark say the same thing. After we, you know, what we talked about is like, you know, he wouldn't step to Skip or Mike Greenberg or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they've been talking about LeBron for years, but you had no problem. But maybe the point was maybe he had a bigger expectation of Stephen A. than he did for Greenberg or whatever. But I still feel like.
So Ja Morant's dad goes up to a reporter, starts an issue with him. Everybody would have a problem with Ja Morant's dad doing
no matter
so you
what
can't
reporter.
say, so it can't just be like, oh, he's coming in as a father.
Right.
So what that means anybody's NBA, any NBA players' parents, any professional athlete's parents can just go and attack a reporter. Not attack, but you get what I'm saying. Confront him for what he's saying.
Right. In fact,
it's my job.
Right. In fact, didn't we see like some beef with T. Morant and what was it, Shannon Sharpe?
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or we saw, and we looked at...
And they were I'm talking about banning T. Morant for coming to games.
Right, exactly. So that's a great point. That is a great point. It really is the same thing. I just thought LeBron was corny for that. I'm still a fan, but I really thought he was corny for that because, like, you know, listen, that's your son. But, you know, sometimes I feel like with the kids, right? And we were... So I forget who I was talking to, and they were saying, oh, the kids, they just don't have respect nowadays. They don't have respect nowadays. I said, nah, they got respect. I think the kids nowadays are a little more fragile than we were. You know what I'm saying? They're a little more fragile. So parents are more protective now, okay? Like I was talking to my man last night. You know, his son... He's about to take his son to the mall. I think his son's in like 10th grade or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I said, you know what? We really spoil our children, bro. Because I promise you, when we were in 10th grade, we was getting no ride. Take the bus. Get on the bus or find your way there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Hey, mom. Hey, dad, can you pick me up? Nah, son, you already know I'm not coming to pick you up. How'd you get there? Find your way back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So we're a little more protective. And maybe that has softened our children a little bit.
No, it definitely has. But
you know what I'm saying?
And I don't even know if it's a protective. I definitely think we're more protective, but I also think the world's different now. You have to be more protective. But I also think we want more for our kids than what we had. Okay. So like the mall thing, like you had to find a ride. All right, well, I'll give you a ride.
I got you. Right, don't worry about it. Right.
Do you know what I mean? Because you want it to be, you know, and I agree. I think it's made it a little, you know, kids aren't as resilient
as they used to. I promise you, if I was out somewhere, like, you know, we hanging out and it's like, you know, let's say I'm in 10th grade moving forward, right? Even if I'm in 9th grade, to be honest with you, moving forward, and I went somewhere and it's curfew time, 11 o'clock, and I called 10:55, hey, can y'all pick me up? No. And you in trouble because you're going to get in here past 11. Like, so it's just different times. But I think with that being said, maybe that was in the spirit of LeBron doing that, but you can't baby him like that. You can't baby Bronny like that. I just think not somebody that's making $8 million. You can't do that. He's you know, you're paying him like he's a grown man. He's got a grown man job. He's got He's living his dream. People are going to comment on that. People are going to critique it. And you have to teach him. And you have to have tough enough skin to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, how did he look that night? Let's say Stephen A. didn't say nothing. How did he look? Do you think other people would say things about how he looked that night?
About how LeBron looks?
Bronny in Philly, because that's what it was, right? It was the game he played in Philly.
Yeah.
You think other people would have said things
about Bronny?
The way he was playing? Yes.
Of course.
Everybody was saying it. So he brings it to, he says it on his platform where he's getting paid $100 million to do, and now you want to blast him, man?
Yeah. And
doesn't make sense to me.
And I think it's one of those things where, like I said, it's calculated. Let me do this in front of everybody so it can be on TV.
Right.
Instead of me just picking up the phone or, Stephen A's here in Philly. Yo, go tell him that after the game we got to talk.
Right. It's just simple as that, right? Right. Like, now I will say that LeBron is a little funny because he say Stephen A's on a Taylor Swift tour or something, like, talking about it, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm hoping that they work that out, you know what I'm saying? Now, moving on to not T Morant, but Ja Morant.
Yeah.
He's still outside.
Just making dumb decisions, man.
He's still outside.
Just.
And I feel for him but I get it because the gun thing has been a celebration all season. I told my team right from the start, we're not doing that at all this year.
Okay.
But Ja, you got to understand the rules change for you once you get in trouble.
Right.
Like there's certain things that you just can't get away with. I've seen people on Twitter like, it was okay a couple nights ago but yeah, that person wasn't outside.
Right.
Ja was outside.
He was outside for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you can't do that.
You gotta listen. You're trying to get back, and we've seen guys mess up and they have a path to still being one of the face of the league. This isn't helping you do that.
No, not at all.
So
I'm not sure. I think they're not going to discipline him though. I thought I read somewhere.
I think he got fined.
He got 75.
He did get fined. Oh, he did get fined.
75 grand.
What about the other one he was doing it to? Because somebody else.
Buddy Hield did it to him.
Okay.
And I don't know, but I think Buddy Hield got fined.
Okay. All right. But yeah. See, it's just foolish. I just think that, and again, now we're okay to critique about him, right? Nobody's really going to say much about that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you know what? We don't agree with it anyway. You know what I mean?
It's just dumb. Like, it's funny you said that, your team, our very first basket of the season was a 3, and the kid shot at the, after he made it, and we got a technical foul. I was like, what do you, like, he goes, I go, because I didn't see it. I go, what did you do? He goes, I just shot at him. I go,
why?
This is like being in school. What are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's like, I didn't think about that.
Right.
We were at Burlington Township and somebody made a 3, and the kid looked at Burlington Township and their fans and was doing it. I was like, come on, man. Time out.
What is going on?
We're not doing this.
Yeah. I mean, I think kids, would they emulate? I guess we would. We did too, right? We emulated the NBA, but we didn't emulate it to the T. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the reasons I had a problem with Kobe, rest in peace. But I didn't, as years went on, I didn't have a problem with it. But initially I did, because I'm like, yo, you're a Jordan fan. That's evident. Everybody was to a certain extent. But not where you're mimicking his every move. You know what I'm saying?
See, I didn't have a problem with that. Everybody kept saying he imitates Jordan. Like you're saying.
Even when he did this, when he jumped in the air,
I didn't have a problem with that.
Oh, see, I don't know. I don't know. I just, you're going to take different things, but to emulate to that level, I think it's a little extra for me.
I'd rather have kids emulating Kobe
MJ
and Mike than the kids they're seeing in the videos with the guns.
Oh, yeah, true indeed. Okay.
And I think that's where the celebrations have gone now.
Does Mikal Bridges still do that?
Huh?
Does Mikal Bridges still do his thing?
What he does? He does like this.
Something.
Something like that, yeah. He does something like that, yeah.
But even when you'll see in college football where they put the ski mask on and they're robbing the place and they're sticking the place. Like it's
right.
That's the place where the celebrations have gone for the most part.
Now some are good though, right? Like I like I do like Trey.
No, I think so. No.
Some is okay.
Anything
right?
where you are acting like you're committing a felony.
Right. Yeah.
I'm against.
They had the meme where they said like the guy scored a touchdown. He's like, he committed 3 felonies in his celebration. He robbed the dude. He shot the whole place up. Like, it was wild. Like, he did everything.
But he did it in like reverse. He shot it up, kicked the door through.
Kicked the door down. Yeah. It was wild. Like,
Those celebrations, some of them I do like even football too and stuff like that. Even back in early, like especially when Shaq was on like Phoenix and I'm not sure what year was that. It's like 2010 or maybe before then. And when Shaq was on Cleveland, they used to do like the little bowling ball. And that stuff is cool.
That's what I told I said, listen, we can celebrate, do whatever you want, just celebrate with us.
Right, I got you.
Like if it has nothing to do with anybody else,
then
I think you're fine.
I got you.
RV lost a game against East, first game of the season like that. They were up, made a 3. Did the gun, technical foul.
Wow.
2 free throws, end up losing the game.
Wow. Yeah, see. So you gotta be smart. Definitely gotta be smart. So who we going with who you gonna rock with in the playoffs, man? You going with the Warriors, right?
That's gonna be the team I want to win. I think the Boston Celtics are gonna win the championship.
I think you're right too. What about you, Fred?
As a guy that liked Kobe for so long, it hurts me to say, I really like the Celtics team.
Yeah.
I really like this team.
Yeah.
I like Drew a lot.
Yeah.
I like Jason Tatum a lot. Jaylen Brown was just okay on, but they're very good.
I agree with that. I don't like them, but they're almost close to flawless.
Tatum's really I was not a Tatum fan. I'd always thought he was great, but just wasn't a fan of his game.
Right.
But now I'm starting to come around on that, and I enjoy watching him play.
I don't want them to win, but they don't have many weaknesses, bro. And if you had to say there was a weakness, maybe Al Horford, and you can't even say that. You can't even say that. Because he's like 38, and he will still give you work.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Still a good defender.
And still a good defender. Right. Oh, my goodness.
They're great. And I think they're at a time now where they're just waiting for the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think they've been good. And I think next couple of weeks you're going to see them go up to even another level.
Now, I am going to, I'm going to go with my Knicks.
To go where? Wait, to go with them to go where?
That's who I'm rooting for. I don't know if they're going to the finals or anything like that.
Oh, that's I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to go with a Western Conference team, though. But I do like Cleveland. I'm hoping Cleveland can get busy, though, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily sure, but I'm hoping, though. You know what I'm saying? Because they have they're kind of big up front, and that Donovan Mitchell is a real problem. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Knicks, it looks like the Knicks are going to have Detroit in the first round. I don't know.
Detroit or Milwaukee? I thought it was Milwaukee.
Right now, Detroit's.
Oh, really? Yeah. Detroit 6?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, and then the second round they have Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Would you rather them play Detroit or Milwaukee in the first round?
I think I'd probably rather them play Milwaukee,
especially if Dame's out.
Especially if Dame's out, and they struggled this year. You know what I'm saying? They really struggled this year. Detroit has something, but I also think they're good. But I don't know. I don't see them making noise in the playoffs.
I think Detroit and New York would lead to a fist fight at some point.
Really?
I think so. Detroit's on edge. So Isaiah Stewart's like.
I don't think he plays basketball.
He's just like he's.
I've never seen him.
Where's he from? Jersey?
Nah.
No. Okay. Some center. I remember something was a center I thought was pretty good. I can't remember where he was from, but go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, I think he's just like, so I could see, and just with the Knicks style of play,
right?
Josh Hart, somebody like that, I could see just.
And the Knicks, the Pistons. I haven't watched a lot of games of them, but are they going back to like that Bad Boys type of vibe?
Not the way they play, but just the way they act. Like,
okay,
like I don't know, like they're not. They don't play like hard nosed and we gotta get the ball. Like It's not like that. They just like
they're very confident.
If there's a loose ball, it might be a fight.
It might be okay.
I've never seen Isaiah Stewart with a basketball. I've never seen him touch a basketball. But I see him in a lot of highlights going to the stands.
Going to the stands, chasing LeBron into the tunnel.
Yeah.
What?
Remember that?
No, I don't.
That was a couple years back when he tried to fight LeBron.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And LeBron, he backed up against Isaiah Stewart. Even there, he was ready to look over.
Right.
Everybody else, when you get pushed, you want to lay on the ground. Now Stephen there, you want to look over him.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Listen, I mean,
LeBron's a fraud when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know what? I became I liked him on Cleveland. I didn't like him on Miami. When we went back to Cleveland, and I liked him again. You know what I mean? Or let me talk like some of the kids. I liked him. I liked him. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I'm definitely gonna be rooting for LeBron in the playoffs. I like OKC as well too. I think, Hartenstein was talking about that last night. Hartenstein is a big difference maker for them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them. Cleveland, and it should be interesting. It's just going to be a shame that the Sixers not in. I don't get to see you coach at the games. You know what I mean? There's no games to go through this year. So the playoff budget is we'll just roll it over hopefully for next year. You know what I'm saying? But I might try to go to a game at the Garden, but their prices is ridiculous. So, but we'll see.
Just looking at the standings here in the Western Conference, from 3 to 8 is only a game and a half difference.
Wow.
So, I mean, right now the Lakers are at 3 and Memphis is at 8, and they're only a game and a half apart.
So who's at 6?
Minnesota. Well, tied with the Clippers.
That's going to be a tough game.
Tied with Memphis. All of that.
Wow. So that's all of it. Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? That'll be starting soon. And then let's just touch quick on baseball, man. You guys been watching the Phillies?
I have been.
Okay.
I have been.
All right.
Big series they're in right now with the Dodgers. Won the first game 3-1. Lost yesterday 3-1. Play today.
In Philly or LA?
In Philly.
Okay.
They only have 2 losses. I think it's 5-2.
5-2. Yeah.
6-2. 6-2. So I mean, with the pitching, there's only been one pitcher that's lost both games for them.
That's my boy.
It's your boy, Mr. Nola. Zach Wheeler is looking very strong right now. And the Jesus Luzardo, who they picked up, has been good.
Okay. So Nola's a little rusty.
Okay. But we're in it for the long haul, Nola.
Right. He'll show up when it's time.
I'm not worried about Nola at all.
Where's Ranger?
Ranger's hurt.
Okay.
Taijuan Walker, who was awful last year,
a little better,
came out and threw a shutout against the Rockies. So that was positive.
Okay.
So yeah, it's early.
Okay.
It's early.
It is early.
So
Yeah, I was having a session, and people had on. They had all the Philly stuff on. I was like, hey, listen, man, the Phillies, whatever. And they was like, oh no, we're doing good this year. I said, it just started though. Damn, you know what I'm saying? You celebrating already?
Just started.
You know what I'm saying?
They got nothing else, man. Sixers suck.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, you still could celebrate the Eagles a little bit if you want. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How you feel about? We're crossing, but how you feel about the tush push man? That's whack.
It's crazy to me how it's actually a conversation.
Right. It's whack. It's a legal play.
It's a legal play
right.
that any team could do,
right.
that the Eagles have figured out a way to be super successful with. Yeah. So now we just ban it.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of...
What is so dangerous about it?
It's just a dangerous play.
Nobody has ever gotten hurt in the tush push.
So you agree with the ban?
Yeah. He's not an Eagles fan.
Yeah. Oh, because you're not. Yeah, okay. All right.
It's a legal play. So they line up offsides every single time.
Well, that's different than call offsides.
Okay, right. We'll call offsides. Okay.
But we can
so is it that you is it
I just think it's a dangerous play.
Okay.
You think they line up offsides?
There's no.
Chris Jones got hurt in the Super Bowl with it. It's just a dangerous play.
It's a dangerous play.
Well, treat it like the kickoff, man. Just you got to change it. Man.
Well, here's the thing. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when I was playing my older brother in double dribble, and he knew how to press. And I mean, I couldn't get the ball in, man. It would be like 40 to 15. I couldn't get the ball in, so we decided. I said, it's not fair. So we decided you couldn't press to the second half.
That's exactly what it is.
Couldn't press to the second half because you just did it too well. You just did it too well. So
double dribble.
Oh, damn.
Video game.
All right. Sorry. I'm just asking.
Wow. So your first basketball was live then?
Live.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was live 90. I forget which one it was.
Right.
Whatever one Jordan wasn't in because he wouldn't let his likeness be used.
Oh, he's in
any of them. He's not in it, but I mean, I think he's in some of the recent ones.
With the Wizards, I thought he was in one. I thought.
But I would just remember playing with number 99 from the Bulls.
Yeah, man. Well, the first one was 95, man. Damn, man. Yo, you're so fortunate, man. You play games when the graphics were good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Madden 96 is the first video game I remember having.
Okay. What was yours?
I don't know. I was in the double dribble, the slap shot.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah. But even that was you're still lucky with that, man. Because that was, at that time, that was like good graphics. Sure. I'm going back to television. I don't even know if I'm talking about when the tennis game was a bar like a rectangle, and then the one stick figure there, and then it's doo. Right, you know what I'm saying? But they were fun though. That was the fun times. That's why my favorite game is Donkey Kong. Because I've always liked Donkey Kong. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, final thoughts, man. You know what I'm saying? Final thoughts.
Looking forward to the end of the college basketball season here today, tomorrow. Definitely going to be following the game today, and we'll definitely tune in tomorrow. Other than that, hoping this weather gets a little warmer for these outside sports that I'm really not a fan of. Other than that.
Yeah, like I said, there was a point in time, and I feel bad, Cameron, I'll be honest with you. She was doing soccer one time, and it was in the fall, and you know how the fall is still kind of like nice and summery a little bit, but the minute it dropped to like 40, come on, baby, it's too cold. Come on, let's go. And matter of fact, don't even worry about it. We're not coming back, baby. Don't even worry about it. Well, I don't even care about the money right now. It's too cold. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to you, man.
Really? You're like that about the cold?
Okay. How did you feel Wednesday?
Yeah, it was cold, but it's not shut everything down.
Okay, but now go 10 degrees lower then. Yeah.
I guess I'm just thinking, like, I coached football for a couple years, so I'm used to.
Oh.
I mean, it's one of those things. Like
practices suck.
Practices, Mondays, Wednesdays, drop them off. You got your stuff on, you good? All right, I'll be back.
Yeah.
But like games, we got to tough it out
now,
together.
When you coach football, did you layer up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, right. See, you know what? That's probably what I should have done. I probably should have layered up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you laid up long johns and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would have like the hot warmers, hand warmers, everything. Yeah.
They work? I've never even seen, I know I've heard of them. What are they like gloves or something?
No,
so it's like these little packets.
Yeah.
And you just hold them?
Yeah. You just hold them. I just put them in my pocket.
And holding it. Okay, yeah. Because it's something.
Puts me in your shoes sometimes.
Really? Yeah. Oh. It's the hands and feet. Yeah. If the hands and feet are good, I'm good.
Yeah. When it's cold, like it's wet outside, if your feet get cold, wet.
Well, when your feet get cold, it's over.
It's the worst. That's why, when we feed the homeless, we ask them like, what would y'all always appreciate? They always say dry socks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because you can tell that, that's a terrible thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, we did your final thought, Fred?
No, I mean, just looking forward to the end of the college basketball season. Happy birthday to both my parents. My mom's birthday was on Thursday. My dad's birthday is today.
That's dope.
So they're down in Georgia enjoying their weekend. Okay. So happy birthday to them. But yeah, other than that, nothing really.
Right.
What's going on?
All right. See, same here, man. I think we got 2 games. We was rained out Thursday with the game that we really wanted to play because we played Leap. And I think we can get Leap. How many
games have you played so far?
1.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't talked about it too. That's what led to the
collapse of the system.
Oh, well, first of all, shout out to them because to endure that level of
who they play?
They play Woodstown.
Woodstown's good.
Oh, I can't even words can't even really articulate.
See, now I gotta go look at the score.
Oh no, you can't even. After a while, it was like, you know how you. Yeah, I listen, it just we sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? We're coming together, but Woodstown's good, and it was that bad.
Okay.
That bad. Was it 15-1 or 15-0?
Wait, I just see the Pittman one in here. Sorry.
Did we play Pitt? Wait a minute. Yo, I don't know. It got so bad quick.
They're both orange.
Yeah. It got so bad quick.
Both orange and
15. Listen, I don't want to put my baseball team on blast, but they lost. Fine, they lost 29-0.
I saw West beat Winslow 27-0.
That hurts.
It was rough.
Yo, because
I felt bad for the pitcher. I'm like, yo, the pitch count's got to be up soon. Get this kid out.
Man. Yo, the thing about it is, I thought that, okay, they had like a mercy rule.
After a certain amount of innings.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
Oh, you thought once they hit that 10th run, it's all right, guys, shake hands.
I thought maybe after the 5th run, they'll end the inning.
Oh, no, it's 12 units.
No, it keeps going, son. Like, you know what I mean? So
that second inning was rough for you guys.
Oh.
That was a rough 10-run inning.
Oh,
that's tough.
And you know what it is? I'll be honest with you, though. In fairness to what we're doing, we have to learn how to, like, there was like 3 or 4 innings where we got 2 outs.
Yeah.
No runs. Even 2 strikes. We just can't close. We can't finish the inning. You know what I'm saying? If we can learn how to finish the inning, then we'll be good. But then we had to, like, you know, we had to track it. We had to get order, because when you have some people that are rogue, it's like, well, how can we be successful if we're not all on the same page? You know what I'm saying? So, we're getting there, and it's exciting. They're good girls. They keep trying. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's what it really is about, right? You're motivating kids. You're trying to help them develop resiliency, right? Is it all about winning for you guys? I know it's not, but I just want...
For what? What are we talking about?
In sports, is it just strictly about winning, or is winning and life lessons kind of combined?
I think it's life lessons in winning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah.
Okay.
But some of those life lessons come as you're trying to win.
Absolutely. Right. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, will you, and I'm going somewhere with this, would you do anything to win?
No.
Okay. So you would never cheat or try
to cheat.
Okay, never cheat. Would you try to steal other teams' players?
Players?
Yeah.
I would never approach another team's player.
To be like, yo, come through.
I would never do that.
Okay.
Now, as a non-public school, if a player approaches me, I'm going to have that conversation, but I'll never reach out to somebody else's, to another player.
Okay.
I'll never start the conversation.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Same thing with you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. What do you feel about people that do that, though?
Somebody trying to steal your softball?
No. I'm just curious. I just ask questions.
Are you trying to steal other people's softball players?
No. I just ask questions, man. I got an inquisitive mind.
It's life. I mean, there's plenty of people out there to do it. There's people who are, this is for basketball wise. This is a huge time for that to be happening, where people are always, this coach reached out to me. This coach reached out to me. It's one of those things where it's like you just have to trust in what you have as a program and as a culture, and if people don't want to be there, you don't want them there anyway.
Right. Yeah, I got you. How about you, Fred? Any comments?
Well, how do I feel about people that do that?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some people that have ego that make it about them and what basketball can do for them. I'm not one of those guys. I don't really need basketball to validate how I feel about myself.
Right.
But you see there are guys that do it, and those guys are in it for the wrong reasons. And, I try to, when guys are going after my guys for that, I make sure to let my guys know, hey, listen, that's what they're looking for.
Right. They're viewing you as a commodity.
Right.
Not necessarily as a young person that they want to develop. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're developing somebody, it's basketball, but it's also other lessons. When you're doing stuff like that, it's more like, I'm just trying to come on. It's almost like with some, like when I see people, over the years, they do. That's why I appreciate, your training style, you know what I'm saying? Or even, AP, you know what I'm saying? And others I've met, you know what I'm saying? Because it's definitely about developing the kid as far as the skill, but it's bigger than just that. You know what I'm saying? So you're not looking for that particular kid to take you to another level.
It's funny. We were just talking about that as we walked in today.
Oh, really? You're looking to take the kid to another level, and you don't care if you get any accolades or whatever. But some people, they're really in it just to find that kid that they can go to the next level with. Yep. And I think that's a travesty.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys knew some of the people that Marcus trained, I think you'd be shocked. But he just doesn't say a word about it.
That just keeps pushing.
Because he's in it for the right reasons.
Right. Right. He's all about pouring into them and not trying to use them for his own thing. Yeah. And I'll just leave it at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a stretch.
Marcus is pouring into kids.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
You don't pour me? Of course you pour.
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I can see it, though.
I tried not.
I can see it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I probably would be like, I probably would have did the same, you know what I mean? But anyway, listen, another great show. Always good times, always good fellowship. CB, definitely, you know what I'm saying? We're with you and your family.
Thinking about you.
You know what I mean? Word. Other than that, listen, it's been a great show. We'll see you next week, man. On behalf of Doc Bryce, got Coach Marcus Bullock and Coach Fred Battie, and we are the new Let's Get It Sports Talk. What's next week? Is next week Sunday? Is that Palm Sunday next Sunday? All right, Palm Sunday. Get your palms. You get your palms?
My daughter is actually going to do a fundraiser to sell palms as we speak.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna get some palms, man. You know what I'm saying? Count me in on that. You know what I mean?
I'll join in Bedside Baptist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'll pull something up.
Fellowship from home.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. That's what I might be doing this today. You know what I'm saying? So, but listen, on behalf of the new Let's Get It Sports Talk, we like to, definitely wish you a good weekend. Listen, we're going to come up with some questions, too, that we're going to be giving out some gifts. I do have some new Let's Get It Sports Talk sweatsuits.
I saw you got like a
little factory out there.
I was gonna say,
yeah. And you know what?
The tariffs.
Yeah. Well, the tariffs. I think the tariffs made it so delayed though, because it's been like a month and change before I got it. You know what I'm saying? But
it's going to be rough. It's not a political podcast.
Yeah. I don't
gonna
know.
Get weird.
I just stay out the way. I just try to stay out the way. But anyway, listen, you guys have a good weekend. Let's go. Enjoy the games, and hopefully we get some weather this week. Some good, nice weather. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of it being cold. I'm tired of it being rainy.
See a lot of fours. See a lot of fours.
It's on the 40s?
47, 45.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Next week looks a little better.
The following week. Okay, after Palm Sunday. So that's good. Anyway, listen, we're out of here. Take care, ladies and gentlemen.